Welcome back. Well, yesterday on WBRC Now, we shared a few tips on how you can handle grief during the holidays. And today we're going to dive deeper into that topic because we know it affects so many of you. Michelle Esri from Fullwell Neurofeedback and Counseling joins us now live from Hoover with more on this. Michelle, thank you for being with us today. Let me make sure I get your audio up. Michelle, can you hear me now?
I can hear you just fine. Are you able to hear me, Claire?
I can hear you now. Thank you for joining us. You know, Michelle, I feel like this topic sometimes doesn't get talked about often because we're so busy trying to create magic for the holidays, but this really affects so many people.
Well, it does. I mean, we all know that throughout seasons of life, we have grief and loss, and it can be people that have been important to us in our lives, maybe our family members, maybe our friends, that we've lost in the last year or the last several years. A lot of times the holidays are the time that that sort of thing comes back up. It could be a move, an actual just change in location and a grief of loss of a job, of a location, of some dreams or hopes. And all of those things are likely to come back up during the holidays when we spend time with family, when family is celebrated and we're seeing pictures and we're seeing these happy stories of everybody all around us. And we may even be thinking about, as we go into the new year and we're planning for what's to come, it can be a little bit sad and it can bring up a lot of these feelings of grief, a lot of the memories of our loss.
I'm going to show our viewers some tips, a graphic that you created to help us sort of get through this season, and I'll have you sort of explain what each of these mean.
Yeah. The first thing on this list says acknowledge emotional highs and lows. One of the things I think about grief and loss is that we can assume that everything is going to be an emotional low, and sometimes they are. But it often is, if this is neutral, we have positive and negative, and our nervous system and our bodies, we need to be able to do both. We need to be able to flex between the two, and it is really okay if you remember somebody in a positive way. If you remember and you have a happy memory of somebody around Christmas, it is also okay if you miss somebody and you feel sad and you feel lonely, or you miss that person and you wish they were with you. Both of those things are good, and it's totally okay to acknowledge that you will have highs and lows while you are grieving. There isn't a roadmap for how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
A next tip is create a plan and a backup plan. One of the things that can be true with grief is it can kind of catch you off guard, right? You can be doing fine 1 minute and then all of a sudden you're like, I might cry in public and I'm not really into that. So it's really always a good idea to have, hey, this is plan A, but I have plan B over here in case plan A goes sideways. What do I need to do if I do suddenly feel really sad? Is there a secondary plan? Do I need to step out? Do I need to take a break for 10 minutes and walk away and then come back? You can escape to the bathroom. Nobody will know. Whatever you need to do, what are your plans and your backup plans? One of my favorite is honor, celebrate, and remember. One of the things that can be really, really healthy when we're grieving is honoring or celebrating or remembering those we have lost. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we do a specific thing that we always did with them in the holiday together with our family. Maybe we celebrate something or take the time to really remember positive memories. Like, this was my favorite memory with my dad on this holiday when we used to do this every time. And just remembering that and allowing yourself to have those positive memories. Lean on and talk with your support system. Lean on your people. Find your people or your places where you feel safe, where you feel supported, and really lean in and talk to people about what you're feeling. Prioritize your physical health and self-care. When we're in grief and when we're in the holidays, both, it can feel like we have a hard time figuring out what it looks like to have a routine. And there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of things that are outside of our control, but there are a few things that we can really work to prioritize, and our physical health and just caring for ourselves, giving ourselves breaks, doing what we need to do to be healthy, and what we can do. If our emotions are going to be going like this, can we have a pretty basic routine on, like, okay, at least I'm going to walk 5 times a week, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Reduce expectations, increase margin. Grief does catch us off guard and it throws everything off, and it actually makes us think more slowly and function a little differently. And so if we know that this is, let's say, the first anniversary of a loss, or the first time we're having to go through holidays when a person isn't with us, maybe taking a little bit of time to say, I'm going to not expect as much from myself. Maybe I won't go to every holiday party. Maybe I will increase the margin I have so that I have time to grieve, so that it's okay if I take a little time away or I take a little more time in between. Maybe that drive from one place to the next takes an extra night, and that's okay.
Yes.
Um, and then finally, hope for the future, right? Dream, plan next steps. One of the things that we can get lost in grief is thinking backwards. And it's really important that we think, okay, now that we are where we are today in this very moment, we've done all the be present here. What does the future look like? Where is our hope? Where are our dreams? What are our next steps so that we can keep living?
I love that, Michelle. Some great advice. And I know so many people dealing with that during the holidays. We appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claire, for having me.